All right, so we're going to start with the BidCentral plan room. So as you can see, we're at the plan room login, which is secure.bidcentral.ca, and you can log in with your username and password in here. I'm going to log in with my test account, and that's going to take you to the dashboard. Dashboard's just going to show you some information about projects that you're following. So you can see your project calendar. So here's my calendar for May. You can see projects that are closing in orange, and then projects that have site meetings in blue. And then any that are still open for that month will show up on the right-hand side. If we keep going down, you've got a little news section there. So some information from BidCentral and BCCA. You've got your invited projects, they'll show up in here. Project updates, so any projects that you're following, if an addenda gets posted, or any updates to a project, they'll show up in here. Projects I'm following, it's just a list of projects I'm following. Opportunity matching, these are the projects that I've been matched with. So I put some keywords into my profile, and then it will tell me if I've been matched with any projects. So you've got the bid results. So these are projects that I'm following, and you can see which ones have been awarded, which ones are closed, and then you can click on those. But most of what you're going to be doing here is in the project search. So if we hit projects up at the top and then hit project search, this is where you can go to search for projects. So in the keyword here, I'm going to do, well, actually, if we jump over to the main section here and just hit search, this will give you a list of all the open projects right now. So we've got 506 open projects in the plan room. And on the left-hand side, you've got your filters in here, so you can filter down. So you can search by keyword, you can do a document search, search by city, zones. So we've broken up the zones by some different regions. So you can select the different region that you're in, and you can just see projects in that region. You can search all projects or my projects. So if I just hit my projects for a second and then hit search, this will give you a list of open projects that I'm following. So here's the one project that I'm following. So this is an easy way of just getting that list of projects that you're following. We jump back to all projects. And then in the advanced search, you can search by date, so date created, closing date, so on. You can drill down by classification of work. You can search by owner type. If you just do, say, healthcare projects, then you could just select healthcare facilities and get all the projects related to healthcare. Under stage, so right now we're looking at open projects. We'll come back to this in a couple minutes and we look at the other stages. You can search by procurement type and by funding type. Well, sounds like it still has echo, so let me make another change here. Hold on. Okay, let's see if that helps. And yeah, so those are the search filters. So now we're just going to jump up to the keyword search here, and we're just going to do a search for, let's do a search for drywall. So what this is going to do is do a basic search for the term drywall. So you can see there's 5 hits in here. And so the basic search just searches the project title and the project description. So only 5 results. But what we're going to do is tick this box here and then hit search. And this is the document search. So the document search does a thorough search throughout all the tender documents. So it takes a bit longer, but oftentimes, a search like drywall wouldn't normally be specified in the project title or the description, but it's definitely going to be a component within the documents. So another good example of using the document search would be if you're a manufacturer supplier, you could search for your makes, models, brands of products and see if they've been spec'd into the projects. While this is thinking, I'm just going to give you a bit of an overview of where the projects come from on BidCentral. So think of BidCentral as an aggregator of construction projects and construction data. So instead of having to log into 20 different sites every morning, BC Bid, Bonfire, Bids and Tenders, Mercs, city, municipality websites, buy and sell, all those different websites, Instead of having to log into those every day, you can be sure that if it's construction related, it's going to be put into BidCentral. So in addition to that, we also have our own projects that our members are posting. We have general contractors and owners posting projects and publishing them to the plan room. So yeah, think of us really as an aggregator of construction projects. And as you can see here, the search is finished now, and we've got 55 results, so significantly more. So make sure when you're doing your searches to do a document search, because you'll always get more results. Now, if we go into the search results, you can see in here you've got the project number. You've got this column here called the keyword density. This tells you the number of times the word drywall, in this case, shows up in the documents. You can also see the project title, closing date, and so on. And you can customize these headers in here by clicking this icon, and you can toggle these different columns. So if we want to remove the addenda column, you can just do that, and then it will get removed. So all of these projects have the word drywall in it. So we're just going to go into one. Here's a little tip for you. In where the little eyeball is, if you right click on that and just open it in a new tab, that's going to pop the project open into a new tab. You don't have to log in to the site anymore like you used to. So that's so the reason why you want to do that is if you click back to project lists, it will repeat that search again, and it will take a couple of minutes, and that's kind of annoying. So yeah, I always just open them in a new tab, or if you hold down Control or Command on your keyboard, that will also load it into a new tab. All right, so looking at the project view, you can see this project closes on June 18th. You've got some more information here. It'll show you where to submit the bid. So this one, if you're bidding on this, probably as a general contractor, you're going to be submitting your bid through BC Bid. This one looks like it's got 3 site meetings that have all passed, or this one's tomorrow, and they'll tell you if they're mandatory or optional. In the project description, you've got all the details here, the procurement type, classification type, and then you've got the scope of work in here as well. Now, if we jump into the project contacts, you can see under contacts who the project owner is. So it's BC Housing, and then you can see any consultants or architects, they'll get listed in here. Mechanical consultants, electrical consultants, those types of things, they'll show up in here as well. Now, if we jump over to the documents and addendas, you can see the documents are all broken down into folders. So you can see the plans, the documents, the specs, and any additional information in here. And you've got addendas in here as well. You can download those files individually, or you can select files or folders and then scroll down and hit download, and it'll just download those for you. Or you can just hit download all, and it'll put all into a big zip file for you. Now, one handy tip in here is in the top right-hand corner, you'll see this this box here that says keyword search. So if we do a search in here for drywall and hit search, this will search all of the documents and show you which ones have the word drywall in it. So these are the 5 files that have the keyword in it. And if you expand them, you can see whereabouts in the documents it has the word. And then if you hit cancel, it will close that out again. So now if you're a general contractor, you're going to be downloading the documents here, and you're going to be, preparing your bid, and you'll submit the bid to the owner. The instructions will typically be in one of these documents here. If you're a trade contractor or a manufacturer supplier and you want to participate in this, you'll use this as an opportunity to jump over to the bidders tab, and you can see in the bidders tab, these are the pre-qualified general contractors for this project. So this is your lead list right here. These are the guys that you want to be reaching out to, saying, "Hey, Duraseal, this is Addlestone Construction, my fictional construction company. We do drywall. We'd love to submit our pricing for this project." And you've got all the contact details right there. You can also see actually in here that a couple of other companies have listed themselves. So this company's listed themselves as an interested manufacturer supplier, and you've got a couple of interested general contractors in here as well. And so what I would do if I was a general contractor or trade contractor or manufacturer supplier is hit I'm interested up at the top. And then I would list myself in here depending on what my company does, but my fictional company does drywall. So I'm going to hit trade contractor and then display my contact information and then hit save. And so now you'll see that my information's listed in here as an interested trade contractor. So you've basically kind of declared your interest to participate in this project. And so it lets the general contractors know that you want to take part in this project, hit me up for pricing, basically. Also, it's a bit of free advertising. Now, if you're a general contractor, you'd also want to go in here and list yourself as an interested GC. And the reason for that is because it will allow you to receive bids from trade contractors and manufacturers and suppliers so that you can prepare your bid to the owner. So I always recommend if you see a project that you're interested in, regardless of whether you're a GC, TC, manufacturer, supplier, always list yourself in the project here. And if you are a general contractor, maybe you're one of these companies, you'll be looking at this list and saying, okay, we need metalwork. So we'll reach out to this company and get them to give us pricing. So this is a really important page in the platform, the bidders list. This is kind of where a lot of the networking and the collaborations kind of take place. So always list yourself as an interested bidder. Go through the list of bidders. That's your lead list. Give them a call, send them an email, introduce your company, introduce your products or your services, and do some networking. Just going to pause for a quick second here and see if there's any questions on this page. All right, so far so good. So we've done this with one project, but as you know, there was 54 other projects in here that have drywall in it. So you'd repeat this process with all the other projects that have drywall in it. And some of the new projects, that have just got posted, they won't have bidders in it yet. But you can see, these ones on here that do have bidders in it. So basically you'd go through and repeat the process, go in there, list yourself as an interested bidder, connect with any of the bidders that are in the list. Okay, so we've gone through the process of doing a document search. Another little tip here is, say for example, I'm looking for projects that have steel studs. If I do a search like that, that's going to search for steel and or stud. Whereas if you throw quotation marks around it, it's going to do an exact phrase search for that phrase. So just keep that in mind when you're doing your document searches. If you're doing searches and you're not getting any results, it could be that you've got my project selected or you've got some, funky procurement type selected. So you'll see this button down here that says clear all. That will wipe all your search settings back to default, and then you can get back to searching for projects. Second question, how can you become a pre-qualified contractor? Yeah, that's a really good question. So the project that we were looking at was BC Housing. So let's just jump back into that project. So if you're a general contractor and you want to get pre-qualified, you'd want to connect with the owner, which is BC Housing. This particular project doesn't have any information in it, which isn't too useful, but typically, we would have the owner's contact information in here. I'm sure if we looked at another BC Housing project, there would be information in there. So that's how you would do that. Another question, will BidCentral show projects like multiplexes to bid? What about tenant improvements? Yeah, another great question. Yeah, a lot of those projects, the private projects, they typically won't show up in the plan room in the project search. They'll show up under the pre-bid, which is what we're going to go to next, and also they'll show up in the permits. So sit tight, and we'll go through those features in just a second. Actually, let's go to it now. So if we go down here to the stage, you'll see that right now we're looking at open projects. So if we X out of the open projects and go into pre-bid and then hit search, this will show you all the projects that are in the pre-bid stage, which means the project's been announced, maybe it's received funding, it's got the go-ahead from the city, or it's just been announced in the news, or basically it's a notice of proposed procurement, but it's not open for tender yet. So if we look at this one, this is in Victoria. Double click on it. You can see this one's on Irwin Road in Victoria. So it's notice of proposed procurement, and there's some information about what the project's all about. If you go into the project contacts, you can see who the project owner is. So in this case, it's West Hills Land Corp, and then you've got their contact information there. So this one will have no documents because there's no tender documents, there's no drawings or plans or anything yet. But this is a kind of an early warning system to let you know what's coming down the pipeline, so that you can connect with these companies. Connect with West Hills Corp. If you're a general contractor, see if you can get pre-qualified. If you're a trade contractor, see if you can get pre-qualified as well. If you're a manufacturer supplier and you're looking at this, it's going to be a condo, so it's going to have windows, it's going to have railings, it's going to have doors. I don't know what your company does, but you can get connected with the developers, get your products spec'd into it, and at an early stage. So that's kind of how you use these pre-bids. And as you can see up here, there's a lot of them. There's 2,623 of them, and more that get added daily. And there's a mix of public, so new school, and private for multi-family, tenant improvements, those types of things. So that is the pre-bids. Now, if we jump back into the stage here and close out of that, and we're going to go into the awarded and unofficial results stage. So now what it's doing is it's producing a list of all the projects that have been awarded or have closed and have been unofficially, the results have been posted. So if we pick on this project and open it up, and then go into the bidders tab, you can see these are the known bidders here for this project. And this one's in the unofficial results stage, so the awarded amount isn't there, but you could probably look at these numbers and figure out who was probably awarded that project. And if you want further clarification, you can always jump into the project contacts, and you've got the contact right there that you can reach out to. You can pretty much come to your own conclusions there on who probably got that one. So I know we have some companies on the call that do. I think we've got a company here that does equipment rentals and also post-construction cleaning. So these would be perfect leads for those types of companies. You can see who's been awarded a project, give them a call. Hey, we do fence rentals or equipment rentals. I see that you're awarded this project in Surrey. We'd love to work with you, or we can help you with your post-construction cleaning, or whatever it is your company does. So the awarded projects are really good leads for that kind of thing. And again, to get back into that, you go to project search, go into your stage, and then change it to awarded and unofficial results. Now, not every project is going to have the awarded information. A lot of them will show up under closed. So in those cases, if you hit search, go into the project, go into the contacts, you'll have the owner's contact information in here, usually. If it's not in here, then it'll be in the documents. I've got another question here. Does it show when the awarded project's commencing? Typically in the documents, it will show you when when they want the shovels to hit the ground, or when they want the project to be completed. So that's the project search. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to go into your company profile. So if you don't have time to do document searches every day, you can go into your company profile, and we can just send you an email when projects get added that are relevant to you. And to do that, in the top right-hand corner, you'll see your name. Click on that and go to account. And then in your account profile, you can change your name here. If you want to stop getting those nightly emails, you could check that. If you want to change your password, you can do that right there. But then you'll see your company name, and then you'll see Edit Company Profile. So if you go ahead and click that, that's going to take you into your company profile. You can change everything in here except one thing, which is your company name. If you need that changed, jump into the live chat and say, hey, Adam, I need my company name changed, and I'll do that for you. So go through, make sure all this information is correct. This is what's going to show up when you click I'm interested on a project, and also when people look your company up in the directory. So make sure all this information is correct. User information, these are all the users in my account. You can have unlimited users in here. So to add a new user, just click Add New User, put the first name, last name, email, and then hit Save, and then they'll get an email with a link to set up a password. Set your business categories, especially if you're a manufacturer supplier. Make sure this one's ticked. I'll show you why in a second. Set your service regions, classification of work, fill those out. But section 8 here, categories, this one's really important. Under matching keywords, this is where you'll put your keywords in. So you can see I've got drywall, I've got steel stud, welding, fabrication, fabricating. So now that I've added these keywords, what our system will do is it will look through all the new projects that have been added in the last 24 hours, look at any new addendas that have been uploaded in the last 24 hours, and it will search them all for these keywords, and then send me an email with a list of projects that I've been matched with. So if you don't have time to log into BidCentral every day, set your keywords up, and then in the mornings, we'll send you an email with a list of projects that you've been matched with. I usually grab my cup of coffee first thing in the morning, sit down, go through my matched opportunities, and that's kind of how I start my day. Now, if you're a manufacturer supplier, you'll see this box down here, and you can put in, the product names, the brands, the makes, the models of the products that you work with, and then we'll actually let you know if those products have been spec'd into a project. So for example, let's say I sell Moen faucets. So I'm going to put Moen in there. So anytime a Moen faucet gets spec'd into a project, I'm going to get notified about it. If the competitor down the street sells Delta faucets, I'm going to put Delta in there as well. And then I'll get notified if my competitor's products are spec'd in there. And then I can connect with the owner, with the architect to get my products listed in there as an alternate. Section 9 is your notifications and dashboard settings. So you can toggle the different regions if you don't want to, if you're based on the island and you don't really want to hear about projects in Prince George, you could just go through and uncheck these, and then we'll only tell you about projects on the island. Section 10 is the public directory. So make sure this box is ticked, and then go through and fill out your company profile, your business description. The more information you put in here, the more your profile is going to rank, when people search for different keywords. So put a good description in there. You can list your associations, project samples, your social media links, and don't forget to upload a really good logo so your company stands out. Now, once you've done all that, remember to hit save. Otherwise, the changes that you've made will not be saved, especially your keywords. So even though the keywords in here go green, they're not saved until you hit save. Now, one thing to keep in mind on this page is that this is your company profile. So any changes that you make in here will apply not just to you, but to any user in your company profile. So if I added a new keyword in here, all of these guys are going to be getting emails with those projects with those keywords in it. So just keep that in mind when you're making changes to your company profile. And again, just to reiterate, remember to hit save. All right, so that's the plan room. So we've walked through going through the dashboard, going into the project search, doing a document search. Once you find a project, you'll go in, list yourself as an interested bidder. If you're a general contractor, list yourself as a GC, download the documents, bid to the owner. If you're a trade contractor or a manufacturer supplier, you're going to be looking at the list of interested GCs and then submitting your bids to those guys, and repeating that process for all the projects that have your keywords in it. Then we went through the process of going into your company profile and setting your keywords and saving your profile. So that's the plan room. So I'm just going to pause for a quick second and see if there's any questions about the plan room before I move on. All right. Now we're going to jump through to the permits link up at the top. So if you click permits, that's going to take you into a new page called apps.bidcentral.ca. It's going to ask you for a username and password. It's the same username and password that you log into in the plan room, and then that will take you into the permits database. Now, this is the new version of the permits, literally launched yesterday, so we're really excited about it. This is the building permits collect all the issued building and development permits from around the province. I think we've got over 40, I think 47 different locations now in the list here that we have permits from. And we collect them all, put them into this platform, make it easy for you to access. And these basically become really good leads. So there was someone earlier asking about tenant improvement projects and things like that. So those will show up in here. So you can see, again, you can sort by location. You can select a start date, end date, and you can even do a search in here. You can toggle the different columns in here and then refresh right here. And so now I'm going to find a permit and I'm going to click on the little eyeball icon and that will load the building permit. So this is the new layout for the building permits. So it's kind of a fresh new layout, bigger, more information, cleaner layout, I think. So you can see the permit ID, the date it was added, the issued date, location, project value is not always available. And then you've got the location address there. You can click on that and it'll open up Google Maps. Also, you've got the contractor details. So you've got the building contractor right there. You can search for that company on BidCentral or search for them on Google, and that will usually give you their contact information right there. And then on the right-hand side, you've got additional details. So this is a tenant improvement for a commercial kitchen exhaust. And you'll see this button here that says Builders CoPilot Insights. If you click this button, this is using our new AI tools, which is called Builders CoPilot, to go out onto the web and try and find some more information about this project. So you can see what it's come up with here. So if you're looking at this permit and it looks like a good opportunity, you'll also see the ability to tag these leads. So here's a list of my my different tags in here. So this one looks really good, so I'm going to hit this as an A1 lead, and I'm going to tag that, and then hit close. And you'll see now on the left-hand side, there's a new link in here called My Leads. And this will show you a list of all the leads that you've tagged. This is kind of like your miniature CRM. So you can kind of drag them through the different stages. You can view the permit and you can change the tags in here. You can also add a note too. So type today, type, and then hit save. And then you'll see that it's the notes are in there. Coming soon as well will be the ability to sync these up into your CRM. So whether you're using HubSpot or Salesforce, you'll be able to add these leads into your CRM as well. You can also search permits by company. So if we click on this link, you can type in a company name. So let's do general contractor and then hit search. And this will show you a list of permits that this company has been issued. Then you click on the permit. And you can see this one's already had CoPilot run on it. So you've got some more information about it here. And lastly, you've got the permits report. So if you click on permit reports, you can select a date range. So set from May the 1st till now, leave everything else as is, and it will generate a report for the number of permits that have been issued and the locations that it's been issued to. So if you're wondering where to point your sales team to focus their energy, this kind of gives you a good breakdown of what's getting built and where. And then you've got a a report by location in the table view. So that's the permit system. And we're very excited about the launch of the AI tools. It's designed to, do a bit more of the heavy lifting for you, so you don't have to do, research into, who the building contractors are or who the architects are, things like that. We'd love your feedback. So, like I said, it was just launched yesterday. So if you give it a try, if you have any feedback or any suggestions, please send it my way. We'd love to hear your feedback. Okay, so moving on from the permits, we're going to jump into the directory now. So if you hit directory up at the top and then browse directory, this is going to take you into the directory, which is basically just a listing of all the companies that are in BidCentral. You can search by keyword in here, so you can search for electrical, or you can search by company name, search by city. You can also drill down by business type. And you'll see this new link that we've added recently, which is a list of manufacturers and suppliers with Canadian products. So with everything going on down south, we've introduced this new feature where companies can self-identify their companies as a supplier of Canadian products. So this is just a good listing here of companies that make or manufacture Canadian products. So if you're GC and you're sourcing products, or if you're an owner or architect and you're sourcing products, check out this list. There's lots of great companies in here that make Canadian products. If we jump back into the directory, let's say, for example, I've got my Addlestone Construction hat back on. I'm a drywall contractor. I want to look for a list of all the general contractors in here. So I'm going to select general contractor in the company type. And this will give me a list of over 3,400 GCs in our database. So if we go through this list, you can see all these companies. All of our BidCentral premium customers are listed first. If you click on one of the companies, you can see their company description, the geographic areas that they service, and the types of projects they're looking for. Got their location here. But most importantly, on the right-hand side, you've got the contact information and the company contacts in here as well. So if I was a drywall contractor, I'd be reaching out to these companies and saying, hey, this is Adam from Addlestone Construction. We do drywall. Do you have any projects right now where you need, drywall? Now, if you're a general contractor, this is also a really good tool for you. You can use it to find subtrades. So if we change that to trade contractor and we search in here for, say, Brentwood Bay, where I live, you'll see Addlestone Construction. If you click on that company, since this is my own company, I'm viewing my own company, it's saying your directory profile looks good, but it could look even better. Do you want to update your profile? So click that. It's going to take me back to the plan room where I can update my profile. But I'm going to hit close there. So if I wanted to, if I just want a big project in Brentwood Bay and I'm looking for a company that does drywall, I can look up this company here and I can invite them to bid, and I can invite them to bid on one of my projects. I can also add them to my address book. So you'll see this button here that says add to address book, and they'll show up in your address book. So it's a great tool. It's a great sales tool for manufacturers and suppliers and trade contractors to be able to connect with owners and GCs, but it's also a fantastic tool for GCs to be able to expand their trade pool by going into the directory and adding companies to their address book. Also in the directory, you can add companies to your favorites. And up at the top under directory, you can see my favorite companies. So these are all companies that I've added to my favorites. You can also see who's favorited me. So this is like your Tinder kind of system. You can see who's swiped right or swiped left or whatever it is on you. So these are all companies that have added me to their favorites. And you can also view your company. If you're a Canadian manufacturer supplier on the call, you'll see this this box right here. You can tick this box and your company will show up on that list of manufacturers and suppliers of Canadian products. So if you're on this call and you do that, go through, tick that box, and get listed in the directory. Also on this page, you can view your company, you can edit your company profile, you can change your logo. If you're a manufacturer supplier, you can upload your product catalogs in here as well. So that's the directory. I'm just going to pause there for a second and see if there's any questions. Okay. All right, moving on from the directory now, we're just going to jump into the next tool, which is myPlanroom. So I know we have a few general contractors on this call, so this is kind of more for you. So myPlanroom is basically your miniature version of BidCentral. It's your own private plan room where you can post projects, you can upload documents, you can invite people to bid. So you can post a project right here, or post a project, and you can specify whether your project is public or private. So if it's public, anyone on the BidCentral platform can access it. If it's private, it's invite only. So only the people that you invite to the project will have access to it. Anyone that you invite to your private project does need to have a BidCentral account, but they don't need to have a BidCentral paid account. So even with a free account, they can access a private project they've been invited to. And all the same fields in here that are in the public plan room. You've got project title, closing date, all the standard stuff. The bid document locations will be on myPlanroom. You can add site meetings, project owner, scope of work, and then you can upload files and folders just by dragging and dropping them into here. Once your project's been posted, once you're ready, hit save, and then the project will show up under My Projects. So here's one I created earlier. So if I click View Projects, this is a project that I created for a new swimming pool. You can see the layout's very similar to the public plan room. You can see the project contacts, documents and addenda. You can download them all. You can see who's interested in this project. You can see these are the invitations that I've sent out, and you can see what their responses are. You can go in and you can add comments as well. If you send an invite to someone and they decide to give you a call to let you know that they're interested in bidding, you can actually add them as a confirmed bidder right here. Just like that. And you can toggle all of the different views in here. If you just want to see all the people that have hit yes, you can do that, or no. One of the great things about myPlanroom is the activity report. So you can see every action that happens on your project. You can see who's viewed your project, who's downloaded documents, and that all shows up in here. You can also, up at the top as the project owner, you can invite people to bid. And so you can see my address book right here. So again, it's all linked to the directory. So if you go through the directory and add companies to your address book, they'll show up in here, and then you can go through and add these people and then hit send message and they'll get the invitation. Under project options, you've got the ability to edit the project. So you can edit that there. And you can also see a complete log of all the changes that happened in your project as well and who changed it. So if you if you invite someone to edit your project and they make changes, you can see what they've changed. Also under project options, you can publish it to BidCentral. So if you keep it private to start and then you're not getting any bids on it, you can publish it to the public plan room so that everyone can see it. You can invite to edit. So I'm going on vacation tomorrow. I'm going to send an invitation to one of my colleagues here to be able to have edit permissions on my project. You can also send an email. So if you sent out a bunch of bid invitations and no one's responded to your bid invitations, you could just hit only no response bidders, and you can create a custom message. And then hit send message. And the last option here is share project. And that will give you the link to the project. You can hit copy there. I do have a question here. What's the best practice for a GC posting a project? Should you post each scope of work separately or post one project with all scopes of work? Yeah, that's a really good question. We have some guys that do it one way and other guys that do it the other. So you can either create a unique project for each scope, or just create one overarching project that has all the different scopes in it, broken down by the folders. So yeah, we've got some that do it one way, some that do it the other. There's no limits to how many files or how many projects you can create, how many invitations you can send out. It's completely unlimited. And also, myPlanroom is available to you at no extra charge. So there's no extra cost for using myPlanroom. Now, under myPlanroom, you've also got some options here. You've got my projects, my received invitations, my sent invitations. So this will show you a list of all the bid invites that I've sent out and whether they've responded or not. So you can see whether they're bidding, and if you can also just send them a nudge right here as well. How many trades can be invited at one time? Are there any limits? There are no limits. So you can blast it out to as many people as you like. And an easy way to do that is through your address book. So if we go back to myPlanroom, you'll see address book. And so this is my address book right here. Say, for example, I want to get all my Division 22 plumbing guys. I can just put 22 in there, and that will give me all those guys. I can just select that, hit invite to bid, select my project, and then hit send message. And then that's going to send it out to all these people from my address book. You can also share your address book. So if you and your colleagues both have different trade lists, you could share your address book with your colleague. Just put their email address in there, and then you can decide whether they want to have the ability to edit your contacts as well. So you can tick that or not and hit share. And then when your colleague goes into their address book, all of your contacts will be there. And then if they do the same thing, share it with you, then you'll be able to see all of their contacts as well. You can also export your address book in here. Got a couple of questions here. Uploading files have any limits? There's no limits. So yeah, go wild. How many contacts can be added per trade? No limits. So there's a theme here. Now, if you want to add people to your address book, again, you can do it through the directory. Search for companies, add them to your contacts, to your address book. You can add contacts individually here by clicking add contact, fill all that out. Or you can import contacts from CSV. So you can download a copy of the template here, fill out copy all your contacts into the list, and then upload them into your address book. It will give you the option to match all of the different column headers, and then hit upload. No limits there either. And that's the address book.